Good morning. We're privileged this morning to have a guest with us as we're taking this, I think, the seventh reading of Jesus, Old and New. And that's our friend, your friend and mine, Chuck. Chuck, say hi.
Howdy.
We're having breakfast together and doing scripture reading. Today's selection is going to be from the book of Exodus. It's building on yesterday's where we read from the book of Genesis, and we had a type of Christ in Abraham's appeal to Yeshua, to the incarnational presence of Jesus with the angels around the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Today we have a similar thing where sometimes it's Jesus shows up in the human advocate and becomes a type of what and who Jesus becomes. And that's the nature of the story today. So we're going to Exodus chapter 32 where we pick the backstory up. I'm going to read the balance of that, and then I'm going to have Chuck move us into chapter 33 about halfway through. And it's just an incredible story. Jesus appears in two ways. First, he becomes the advocate in Moses. Moses is the type of Jesus. And then Jesus appears in a hidden mystery where we actually can touch and feel and see his actual face. It's the first time that question is drawn. Moses is the one who moves humanity beyond its normative, distant God to a God up close. And so, again, the reading of Jesus, Old and New, I'm beginning with chapter 32, beginning with verse 19. Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing. His anger burned, and he threw the tablets out of his hand, breaking them to pieces at the foot of the mountain. And he took the calf they had made and burned it in a fire. Then he ground it to powder, scattered it on the water, and made the Israelites drink it. He said to Aaron, "What did these people do to you that you led them into such sin?" "Do not be angry, my lord," Aaron answered. "You know how prone these people are to evil. They said to me, 'Make us gods who will go before us.' As for this fellow Moses who brought us out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." So I told them, "Whoever has any gold jewelry, take it off." Then they gave me the gold, and I threw it into the fire, and out came this calf. Moses saw that the people were running wild, and that Aaron had let them get out of control, and so he become a laughingstock to their enemies. So he stood at the entrance of the camp and said, "Whoever is for the Lord, come to me." All the Levites rallied to him. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Each man strap a sword to his side. Go back and forth throughout the camp, from one end to the other, each killing his brother and friend and neighbor." The Levites did as Moses commanded, and that day about 3,000 of the people died. Wow. Then Moses said, "You have been set apart to the Lord today, for you were against your own sons and brothers, and he has blessed you this day." The next day Moses said to the people, "You have committed a great sin, but now I will go to the Lord, and perhaps I can make atonement for your sin." First appearance of Christ in the likeness of human need. So Moses went back to the Lord and said, "Oh, what a great sin these people have committed. They have made themselves gods of gold, but now please forgive their sin. But if not, then blot me out of the book you have written." The Lord replied to Moses, "Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot out of my book. Now go, lead the people to their place I spoke of, and my angel will go before you. However, when the time comes for me to punish, I will punish them for their sin." And the Lord struck the people with a plague because of what they did with the calf Aaron had made. And now the beginning of chapter 33. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Leave this place, you and the people you brought up out of Egypt, and go up to the land I promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I will give it to your descendants. I will send an angel before you and drive out the Canaanites, Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. Go up to the land flowing with milk and honey, but I will not go with you, because you are a stiff-necked people, and I might destroy you on the way." When the people heard these distressing words, they began to mourn, and no one put on any ornaments. For the Lord had said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, you are a stiff-necked people. If I were to go with you, even for a moment, I might destroy you. Now take off your ornaments, and I will decide what to do with you." So the Israelites stripped off their ornaments at Mount Horeb. And now I'm going to ask my friend to read the rest of that chapter, chapter 33, beginning with verse 7, and to the end of the chapter.
Moses used to take a tent and pitch it outside the camp, some distance away, calling in the tent of meeting. Anyone inquiring of the Lord would go to the tent of meeting outside the camp. Moses went out to the tent. All the people rose and stood at the entrance to their tent, watching Moses until he entered the tent. As Moses went into the tent, the pillars of clouds would come down and stay at the entrance while the Lord spoke with Moses. Whenever the people saw the pillars of cloud standing at the entrance to the tent, they all stood and worshipped, each at the entrance to his tent. The Lord would speak to Moses face to face as a man spoke with his friend. Then Moses would return to the camp, but his young aide, Joshua, son of Nun, did not leave the tent. Moses and the glory of the Lord. Moses said to the Lord, "You have been telling me, lead these people, but they have not let me know whom you will send with me. You have said, I know you by name, and you have found favor with me. If you are pleased and teach me the ways so I may know you and continue to find favor with you, remember that the nations is your people." The Lord replied, "My presence will go with you. I will give you rest." When Moses said to him, If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here. How will anyone know that you are pleased with me and with your people unless you go with us? What else will distinguish me and your people from all the other people in the face of the earth? And the Lord said to Moses, I will do the very thing you have asked, because I am pleased with you, and I know you by name. Then Moses said, Now show me your glory. And the Lord said, I will cause all my goodness to pass in front of you, and I will proclaim my name and the Lord in your presence. I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. But he said, You cannot set my face, for no one may see and live. Then the Lord said, there is a place near me where you may stand on a rock. When my glory passes by, I will put you in a cleft in the rock and cover you with my hand, and I will have passed by. Then I will remove my hand, and you will see my back, but my face you cannot be seen. And this ends chapter 33.
Word of our God, who is for us. Thanks be to God. Now, in this short section, we have the whole of the Old Testament in one brief section. The themes that are going to run throughout the rest of the Old Testament are present to us. First of all, the primary purpose God has always had is to call a people who will reflect the goodness and blessing of God and to bless the world as a result of that knowledge. Here in this picture image you have in Moses 1, someone who says, blot me out of your book if you do not forgive my people. That is the very center and heart of God, that the writer of the whole book, the Father, if you will, is seeking in humanity. And you see that first image in Moses. Then God, almost as an advocate, says, you go on. I'm going to send an angel with you because my holiness will destroy these people. That's also a statement of truth. And Moses says, if you ain't coming, I'm not going anywhere unless your presence follows. And that's in the context of Moses in the tent of meeting, where the people stand in awe because they cannot approach God in the same way Moses does. And his aide de camp is witnessing that. And there's an interesting statement there that says that sometimes Joshua would stay back in the tent of meeting because the glory is so profound as Moses was done. This is where he also put a covering over his face so the Shekinah glory would not be too great. That's the whole mythology behind that story, which is interesting in the New Testament, how that's rewritten or reinterpreted. But the point then goes to the face of God. Can we know God so intimately that we actually can call him friend? Well, the text here says that Abraham was his friend. I think it's the first time God has a friend in the Old Testament. Again, Jesus calls us when the New Testament that we are all his friends. We're not just servants. And so you have this intimacy that's going on in the relationship between Moses and God. And finally, what God says is, you can know me, but you can't see my full glory because you cannot see my face. And of course, that's not fulfilled until we actually have Jesus, the fullness of the glory of God in the face of Christ. So what an incredible thing is happening early in the story. Jesus is pregnant inside every page of the old book of the Old Testament. May God forever burn his story into ours. Blessings.